Hello again, everyone. We're here at the Caribou Public Library. I'm Miss Erin, and we are continuing to read The Wonderful Wizard of Oz for our chapter book story time. This is by L. Frank Baum, and we're reading the second half of chapter 11 today. We found out, so Dorothy was talking to Oz. He wants her to kill the wicked witch that is left alive. So she is about to head back to her friends. Oh, and here she is. I'll show you the picture first. Talking with them about what has happened. Sorrowfully, Dorothy left the throne room and went back to where the lion and the scarecrow and the Tin Woodman were waiting to hear what Oz had said to her. "There is no hope for me," she said sadly, "for Oz will not send me home until I have killed the Wicked Witch of the West, and that I can never do." Her friends were sorry, but could do nothing to help her. So she went to her own room and lay down on the bed and cried herself to sleep. The next morning, the soldier with his green whiskers came to the scarecrow and said, "Come with me. The Oz has sent for you." So the scarecrow followed him and was admitted into the great throne room, where he saw, sitting in the emerald throne, a most lovely lady. She was dressed in green silk gauze and wore upon her flowing green locks a crown of jewels. Growing from her shoulders were wings, gorgeous in color and so light that they fluttered if the slightest breath of air reached them. When the scarecrow had bowed, as prettily as his straw stuffing would let him, before this beautiful creature, she looked upon him sweetly and said, "I am Oz, the great and terrible. Who are you, and why do you seek me?" Now the scarecrow, who had expected to see the great head that Dorothy had told him of, was much astonished. But he answered her bravely, "I am only a scarecrow, stuffed with straw. Therefore I have no brains. And I come to you praying that you will put brains in my head instead of straw, so that I may become as much a man as any other in your dominions." "Why should I do this for you?" asked the lady. "Because you are wise and powerful, and no one else can help me," answered the scarecrow. "I never grant favors without some return," said Oz. "But this much I will promise. If you will kill for me the Wicked Witch of the West, I will bestow upon you a great many brains, and such good brains that you will be the wisest man in all the land of Oz." "I thought you asked Dorothy to kill the witch," said the scarecrow in surprise. "So I did. I don't care who kills her, but until she is dead, I will not grant your wish. Now go, and do not seek me again until you have earned the brains that you so greatly desire." Here's a picture of the lady that was Oz. The scarecrow went sorrowfully back to his friends and told them what Oz had said. And Dorothy was surprised to find that the great wizard was not a head, as she had seen, but a lovely lady. "All the same," said the scarecrow, "she needs a heart as much as the Tin Woodman." On the next morning, the soldier with the green whiskers came to the Tin Woodman and said, "Oz has sent for you. Follow me." So the Tin Woodman followed him and came to the great throne room. He did not know whether he would find Oz a lovely lady or a head, but he hoped it would be the lovely lady. "For," he said to himself, "if it is the head, I'm sure I shall not be given a heart, since a head has no heart of his own, and therefore cannot feel for me. But if it is the lovely lady, I shall beg hard for a heart, for all ladies are themselves said to be kindly-hearted." But when the woodman entered the great throne room, he saw neither the head nor the lady, for Oz had taken the shape of a most terrible beast. It was nearly as big as an elephant, and the green throne seemed hardly strong enough to hold its weight. The beast had a head like that of a rhinoceros, only there were 5 eyes in its face. There were 5 long arms growing out of its body, and it had 5 long slim legs. Thick woolly hair covered every part of it, and a more dreadful-looking monster could not be imagined. It was fortunate the Tin Woodman had no heart at that moment, for it would have beat loud and fast from terror. But being only tin, the woodman was not afraid at all, although he was much disappointed. "I am Oz, the great and terrible," spake the beast, in a voice that was one great roar. "Who are you, and why do you seek me?" I am a woodman. I am made of tin. Therefore I have no heart and cannot love. I pray you to give me a heart, that I may be as other men are." "Why should I do this?" demanded the beast. "Because I ask it." This is the woodman. "Because I ask it, and you alone can grant my request," answered the woodman. Oz gave a low growl at this, but said gruffly, "If you indeed desire a heart, you must earn it." "How?" asked the woodman. "Help Dorothy to kill the Wicked Witch of the West," replied the beast. "When the witch is dead, come to me, and I will give you the biggest, the kindest, and most loving heart in all the land of Oz." So the Tin Woodman was forced to return sorrowfully to his friends and tell them of the terrible beast that he had seen. When they all wondered greatly at the many forms the great wizard could take upon himself, then the lion said, "If he is a beast when I go to see him, I shall roar my loudest and so frighten him that he will grant all I ask. If he is the lovely lady, I shall pretend to spring upon her and so compel her to do my bidding. And if he is the great head, he will be at my mercy, for I will roll his head all about the room until he promises to give us what we would desire. So be of good cheer, my friends, for all will yet be well." I'm going to go back really quick. This is a picture of Dorothy with the head version of Oz. The next morning, the soldier with the green whiskers led the lion to the great throne room and bade him enter the presence of Oz. The lion at once passed through the door, and glancing around, he saw to his surprise that before the throne was a ball of fire, so fierce and glowing he could scarcely bear to gaze upon it. His first thought was that Oz had by accident caught on fire and was burning up, but when he tried to go nearer, the heat was so intense that it singed his whiskers, and he crept back tremblingly to a spot near the door. Then a low, quiet voice came from the ball of fire, and these were the words it spoke. Do you know what it said? "I am Oz, the great and terrible. Who are you, and why do you seek me?" And the lion answered, "I am a cowardly lion, afraid of everything. I come to you to beg that you give me courage, so that in reality I may become the king of beasts, as men call me." "Why should I give you courage?" demanded Oz. "Because of all wizards, you are the greatest, and alone have power to grant my request," answered the lion. The ball of fire burned fiercely for a time, and the voice said, "Bring me proof that the Wicked Witch is dead, and at that moment I will give you courage. But so long as the witch lives, you must remain a coward." The lion was angry at this speech, but could say nothing in reply, and while he stood silently gazing at the ball of fire, it became so furiously hot that he turned tail and rushed from the room. He was glad to find his friends waiting for him, and he told them of this terrible interview with the wizard. "What shall we do now?" asked Dorothy sadly. "There is only one thing we can do," returned the lion, "and that is to go to the land of the Winkies, seek out the Wicked Witch, and destroy her." "But suppose we cannot," said the girl. "Then I shall never have courage," declared the lion. "And I shall never have brains," added the Scarecrow. "And I shall never have a heart," spoke the Tin Woodman. "And I shall never see Aunt Em and Uncle Henry," said Dorothy, beginning to cry. "Be careful," cried the green girl. "The tears will fall on your green silk gown and spot it." So Dorothy dried her eyes and said, "I suppose we must try it, but I am sure I do not want to kill anybody, even to see Aunt Em again." "I will go with you, but I am too much of a coward to kill the witch," said the lion. "I will go too," declared the Scarecrow, "but I shall not be much help to you. I am such a fool." "I haven't the heart to harm even a witch," remarked the Tin Woodman. But if you go, I shall certainly go with you. Therefore, It was decided to start upon their journey the next morning, and the woodman sharpened his axe on a green grindstone and had all his joints properly oiled. The Scarecrow stuffed himself with fresh straw, and Dorothy put new paint on his eyes that he might see better. The green girl, who was very kind to them, filled Dorothy's basket with good things to eat and fastened a little bell around Toto's neck with a green ribbon. They went to bed quite early and slept soundly until daylight, when they were awakened by the crowing of a green cock that lived in the backyard of the palace, and cackling of a hen that had laid a green egg. Here's a picture of them heading out, getting ready for their mission. Well, that is the end of chapter 11 today, so we'll continue on with chapter 12 next time. Thanks again. We'll see you then. Bye.